Hey, what's going on? This is Chris Colgan with Keller Williams Real Estate, and today I want to talk about a topic that's been driving me nuts lately because, not a bad thing, but my phone has been ringing off the hook about people calling and asking me about flipping houses or wholesaling houses in Northern Virginia. And I really want to dive in deep to these two topics because right now what's going on is there's a lot of people doing seminars online or Zoom meetings or talking on Facebook groups, and they're saying, hey, getting into wholesaling and flipping is very easy. And so when I'm getting a lot of these calls and people are calling about it, I can tell they're like very confused and they're like scared and they're like excited and they're like, what do I do?
I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Jesse.
All right, so before I get into that, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you can like it and comment below what you thought about the video, and if this is on YouTube, as everyone says, please smash that like button and subscribe to my Chris Colgan channel, where I talk about nothing but Northern Virginia real estate. Sometimes you'll see my crazy sneakers in the background, Batman and all that good stuff. But let's get right into the two topics. What is wholesaling and what is flipping? Wholesaling is if you're a person and you find a good real estate deal on your own, and let's just throw out a number. Let's say the house is worth $250,000 fixed up. And you find a deal, somehow you're out on the streets, you're knocking doors, you're making calls, and you find a deal for $150,000. What you do is you can write an offer with the owner for $150,000, and then you can actually go out and sell that contract to somebody else, or say for $180,000. So what ends up happening is they end up closing on the property for the $180,000, the owner gets the $150,000, and you get the you get the $30,000 where you kind of assign the contract to them. So once you've done that, at closing you get a check for $30,000, the owner gets $150,000, the investor gets it for $180,000, and then they go on and do their thing, and then everyone's happy. Now here's the thing that a lot of people don't get: the government has really started hammering down on this. There's a lot of people doing like shady things like that. I know, just for example, I think in Pennsylvania, I'm not 100% sure, but I know in Philadelphia for sure, they've outlawed it because they feel like people are acting like realtors and they're not really licensed. And they also think like the consumers are not really getting told the truth and all that good stuff. But the problem is when you're trying to like look for a deal like this, if you go online and just pay somebody to, hey, show me a course on wholesaling, they're not going to really tell you like you're really this is like a full-time job. This isn't something that you're going to do after work and you're just going to say, hey, let me just call around a couple of realtors and see what deals they have. Because really, like someone like me who already works with a ton of clients and gets a lot of investors, if you're an investor that buys from me a lot and I know that you're reliable, you're quick, you got quick money on you that you can close in 10 days and you know how the deal works and you've got the funding ready, like obviously I'm going to give you a call. But also, if you're a homeowner and I know that I can get you top dollar while listing your house for sale, I'm obviously going to do what's best for the homeowner, which is get them top dollar and walk them through that step, unless they're in such a dire strait, where I have to get them out of that scenario and get them out of the property right away. And I show them both ways. I say, hey, look, this is what it's worth fixed up. This is what you can get for it today. That happened last week, and the owner and myself, we came to a middle ground. And I said, let's list it for this price and hope it gets bid up. But like when you're a wholesaler, you're going out and you're finding deals. And so a lot of these companies that are out there like trying to like sell quote unquote education to wholesalers, they're saying, hey, look, you can mass text people, you can cold call people, you can door knock and try to find these deals. So before you like go and plant a bunch of money like into wholesaling, realize this is a full-time job. You need to be able to really know the real estate market yourself and not just like completely rely on real estate professionals. And what's happening is a lot of people are being told, hey, just call a local real estate agent. They know all the deals. Sure, but you got to make sure that you got all the funding in place, because what if the buyer of your place, you have a contract on, it doesn't come through, it falls out, and now you're stuck buying this place for $150,000. You better hope you have access to funding if that deal falls out, or you had a professional help you get a way to get out of that contract. And a lot of these other techniques that I've seen be taught, like mass texting, for example, or mass leaving voicemails, a lot of that stuff is actually illegal now. And you can get fined like thousands upon thousands of dollars per instance if the person's on the do not call list. are texting, you can't text them, they've opted out. And the company is not, that you're buying this information from, is not constantly scrubbing it. And then let's be honest, Northern Virginia in general is a very expensive and hot market. It always has been, and most consumers have all the information online they can find, and they have a ton of real estate professionals to call. So the odds of finding like a steal of a deal are very hard. Is it impossible? No, it's not. But if you've got a huge marketing budget to hit radio, Facebook, internet, Instagram, all that, to go after these type of leads, definitely do it. But like I said, this is one of the things I think more people need to know, that it's not just gonna be something that's gonna happen overnight. And then flipping, so flipping houses. Flipping, I've personally been involved probably within 75 flipping houses with me, my brother, and my dad. And as far as flipping, one of the things is I watch them too, right? Like all the reality television shows, like HGTV and all these other shows, which don't really show the truth. They'll say, hey, this person bought this house for $300,000, and then they walk in, a bunch of times, and the house is a mess, and then they flip it, and then everyone's happy and hugging, and then it says profit $150,000. What they don't show is obviously the person paid capital gains taxes. They had repairs that went along with it. They also had commissions that went involved, local taxes, and all that stuff. So usually I found, which most people will not be upfront and honest, but Chris Colgan, the real estate expert, will be, usually most of these people can make anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 per flip around Northern Virginia. Now, that's a lot of money. It's not something I'm saying it's not a lot of money, but they also have the funding. They have the crews that can go in and fix up the houses. They have access to the banks that will lend them the capital. They have the cash to pay for their property. They have the right real estate professionals like Chris Colgan, that you can text me below with my information below, that know how to find these type of deals. So just going out and saying hey, you know what, today I'm gonna get into flipping houses, it's not that easy. It's, you gotta have access to the money, meaning you gotta find a hard money lender that's willing to lend you the money. Now they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg for interest, or you gotta find a local bank that will lend you the money, and then you're gonna have the cash. So yes, if you find a $500,000 house and it's worth $700,000, you need to have access to $500,000 to quickly close on it. And then the next thing you also need to be aware of is you need a good crew of contractors. So you're not gonna be able to just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm flipping a house, because you got so many different aspects of flipping a house: roofing, HVAC, hardwood floors, paint, all that good stuff. So you got to have a good list of contractors. I do have that if you need any of that information. And then also you got to have a professional that's going to really tell you, hey, this is what, and they got to be honest with you. They can't just say, oh my God, I'm excited, this house is going to be for so much money, blah, 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 because it's got to appraise. So at the end of the day, you might put $200,000 into it to make it worth the $800,000. But then the bank comes back that the buyer's using and says it's worth $650, and you just put all this money into it. So when we were flipping a lot, we would not go extravagant with all their updates and all that like some of the TV shows would show. Now, I've seen some people do a great job with flipping. Now, the thing is, though, with flipping, you got to be a marketing expert, to be honest. You got to really know how to find these deals, advertise. There's obviously major companies now, even Zillow has gotten into it. All these major Redfin's buying houses now, so all these major companies are doing this. So I'm not trying to be like Mr. Bad News, but I'm trying to be hey, look, this is the real deal of it all, and this is how wholesaling and flipping really work. And especially in Northern Virginia, if we're in another part of the country, where houses don't sit for long, they sit a long time and they're easier to go in and lowball. It's a lot easier, but our area can definitely be tough. So if you have any questions on this, always just shoot me an email or text me. You can always, like I said, please comment below what other information you guys want to hear. I know it's a lot of information, but I definitely want to make sure you guys aren't out there getting taken for and losing money. I want to see everybody make money, the homeowners, the flippers, the investors, whatever. And I will see you at the top or from the top.